And welcome to another one of my videos. And in today's video I'm going to make a case for the platinum group metals, which is platinum, palladium and rhodium. There are other metals on this list. I don't think they're worthy of mention, to be honest. I don't think they're applicable to buyers of metal. Buyers of precious metal are people who even want to have an investment play. I think they're purely I think they're mainly for people who are in industry, so I'm not going to cover them. So I'm going to quickly run you through what I've done. So I've taken a report from Johnson Matthey, the company that makes those beautiful silver bars. There's a lot of vintage bars at JM. And I've taken a report and I've come up with my own conclusions on whether or not I think that there is an investment case per metal. So if we have a look at platinum, it's done in a million per ounces. So with this, the supply from South Africa, for example, is close to 4.5 million ounces that they're producing in the year of 2019. It's a pretty standardized format and I've kept it the same throughout. Now, as you can see, that the total supply for platinum is relatively the same over 2017, 18 and 19. There is another graph that I will put up on another video, maybe in a day or two, that covers it from 2014, so it gives you a 6-year time span, so you can get a better idea of where it's been and where it's at, rather than the 3 years that I've put up now. So you can see that South Africa has the vast majority of the supply. Russia has some, and then other comes from various other countries and states. So total supply, you're looking at 6 million ounces. It also breaks down, these reports break down the gross demand. So essentially half of the supply is going into auto catalyst converters, which are in cars. This has come about via China and India increasing their standards. About a third of it's come from jewelry, a third of it's come from industrial, and a sixth of it has come from investment. It's interesting to see this here. I'm not actually too shocked at this. Platinum's one of those things that's been on the radar, but not on the radar in the sense that I've often known about it, but not many people tend to ask me about it. There's been a real influx of platinum coins of late on the groups. Someone's seen that the mints are starting to gear up towards platinum. So the Royal Mint is, other mints are getting there as well. So the Perth Mint. And they're starting to bring them onto the groups. It also helps that the price has dropped substantially. So there is a case for investment. If you have a look, you've got total supply minus total demand. You're at a deficit of 2,000. Total supply is 6 million ounces. Total demand is close to 8.5 million ounces. 2.2 million ounces come from recycling. So this will come from all of these. And you got a total net demand of 6.2 million ounces, which means they've gone 200,000 ounces into the reserves. Now, what is interesting is that the speculative platinum positions on the NIMEX. So they put together various investment cases and where they think it will go also. And this is a graph I pulled from that report. I will put the report down below if anyone wants to read it. So you've got the longs versus the shorts and the net position. People are going long on platinum, and this will come from investment. So people are expecting platinum to go up in price. I will make a case on whether or not I think it's feasible. Now let's have a look at palladium. Now this is really interesting. Palladium is not something that's been on my radar before. I've heard of it. I haven't really known much about it. Very little was made in terms of coinage. Like, I was actually offered some coins. I asked about it from one of my suppliers, and he said, "Oh, I've got some palladium." And I was like, "You've never mentioned it." He's like, "Yeah, I've got some, but we bought this years ago and we can't move it." So there is a small market in terms of investment, and you will see from the graph. If you have a look at the supply, so the supply is more even between South Africa and Russia and other. So you got close to 7 million ounces. You look at the demand, there's a fair amount of demand. So it's mainly coming from the catalyst market. Again, it's China and India. Industrial, there's no investment demand for this metal. It's been in deficit for a long time. I think people have been taken out of the ETF. If you look at the total net demand, there's a huge deficit. More of it's being used than being replaced. There's a potential case for this. All you need is a supply shock from either South Africa or Russia, and you've got a huge deficit, which will squeeze the prices. Let's have a look at rhodium. So rhodium is mined in much smaller quantities. It's not even in the million ounces in terms of supply. It breaches a million ounces once you include supply and recycled rhodium. But it's fairly stable, mainly from South Africa. It's mainly going into the auto catalyst market. I don't think, as an investor, there's much interest in this. I don't even think there are rhodium coins. You can get rhodium bars, I will show you in a second. But I think this one's probably more an industrial metal, and I'd steer way clear of it. I really would. I've put together some prices. So these two are from Kitco. I couldn't even get a price on rhodium on Kitco. For the life of me, I cannot remember where this is from, but it includes the other platinum metal groups, or platinum group metal, sorry. So iridium, osmium, rhenium, rhodium, and ruthenium. I didn't really look into the rest because there's no market. You're just throwing, in my mind, money away. Maybe if you want to put maybe a percentage of your portfolio in it, then great, but I don't think it's great. So rhodium in pounds. What I've done is I've gone for the middle between the ask. So the bid and the ask, I've just gone straight down the middle to create the spot. So here's the spot prices. I've gone to Baird & Co, the only company that I really know of that sells this type of metal. I've gone 1 ounce, 100 grams, 250 grams for the platinum, 1 ounce and 50 grams for the palladium, and then I've done a 1/4 ounce and an ounce for the rhodium. Now, let's see if we can make a case for these metals. Looking at the platinum, you can see that there are many options. If you're buying for their price plus VAT, and this is if you buy quantity as well, most probably. Usually when it says from, it's the lower price, but you have to buy more than one. So you can see there's a premium. It's fairly consistent around the 30% mark. I don't think there's an investment case for bars. Coins, on the other hand, I do. There is a duality in pricing concerning coins. There is a secondary pricing mechanism for coins, which is supported by the peer-to-peer market. And I do think that if you buy a platinum, you're going to have premium in and premium out. We've seen that for gold. We've seen it for silver. It's quite common. Like I said, there are people selling platinum on the group's 10th ounce for 120 plus post, 130 plus post. That's a huge markup over spot. Huge markup, but the price is being supported by buyers, which shows that there is an investment case. All you have to do is find platinum coins for that mark and play the spot price, or you can come in slightly cheaper if you can find them and paying them off for a small amount of profit. Now, looking at palladium spot price is about £1,500 an ounce, essentially £1,550 an ounce. Plus VAT, you're looking at £2,000. I don't see it. There's very few in terms of palladium coins. I don't think there's a market. I don't think you could buy at premium and then sell at premium. I don't think it's possible. You'd have to go to a dealer and then you're going to take a massive haircut. I don't think it's a bad investment. Like, if we go back, if you look at the shortage of palladium, this to me looks great because, okay, we've got the virus, but if there's going to be consistent shortages in palladium, it should mean the price is going to get pushed up. But do you want to run the risk of overpaying on the premium and getting taken to the cleaners. I'd much prefer to take the risk on a paper product than a physical product in this case. With rhodium, I think the market's stable. I wouldn't want to buy that. Nowhere near. The premiums are lower, but you might as well just say goodbye to 20% if the price stays the same. I cannot see someone paying you £2,000 for a quarter ounce of rhodium. I wouldn't consider it. But I do think there is a case for these two. Platinum more so in coins. I wouldn't buy it in bar form, and palladium more on the paper markets. Anyway, that's my little rundown of platinum group metals. I hope you liked the presentation. I hope you found it informative. If so, then please like, comment, and subscribe. So take care, guys. Bye.